Okay, welcome everybody to the Saturday's episode of the Agnihotra Lady, the Cosmic Clinic, where we have a continuing conversation about Agnihotra, Ayurvedic, and how this applies to you, how you can live more peacefully, full of love and happiness and delight, even amongst the pandemic and all of the other things that are happening in today's world. So we're going to jump into it. I'm going to start off with a Marute mantra, how I normally start the Cosmic Clinic out with this nice mantra to set a good tone for our talk. I will post a Zoom link right after I do that. If you'd like to join me on the Agnihotra Ladies Talk this week. Boo swaha, Agniye Yadamama swaha, Mayave Yadamama swaha, Surya Yadamama Bhava swaha, Prajapatiye Yadamama. And so this is the Varuti mantra that I do before we start an Agnihotra Lady talk. And this is something that we do before we do full moon mantra. You can do this throughout the day, and it's not Agnihotra. For those that are just joining, I teach the Ayurvedic practice of Agnihotra, which is done in a copper pyramid. It's done at sunrise and sunset, and it's a way to purify the atmosphere and the planet, and it gets rid of pollution, and it's a way for you to also heal yourself. So you do it at sunrise when the flood of energies and electricities um, are there's a flood of that in the morning time, and it's beautiful. And so you do that, and you chant Sanskrit mantras as a way to purify the atmosphere. It goes 8 miles up in a 2 mile radius, and it's a way to, like I said, cleanse water. It's great for farming. So if you have a farm, maybe you want to do some natural farming, you can use the resultant ash of this practice, which looks like this. This is the Agnihotra ash, and you're able to use it in farming, and that's called homa farming. The other ingredients that are put into the pyramid when you do Agnihotra are dried cow dung, which here it is right here. You also use brown rice, just regular brown rice. You use salted butter, which is ghee. You boil it, you boil in salted butter. Um, and that's the other ingredient that we use. And these are the ingredients that we use for Agnihotra. Hey, we're being joined by Mama Yogi. Hey, Mama Yogi, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. A little slow getting myself set up here. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So everybody, I didn't know we were going to have Sister Mama Yogi with us to join in the conversation about Agnihotra. So um, I'm very happy that you're able to join us today, this evening. That very good.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did I get the wrong time?
No, you got the right time. That's why I was like, yes, I didn't expect you were able to join. So I'm happy. So I'm going to just quickly share to Facebook pages. Did you want me to share it to your page as well too? Because I usually share it to several pages before we get deep into the talk, so people can join. Do you want me to go ahead and share your
Okay,
page too?
that's fine.
Okay, so everybody, we're being joined by Mama Yogi. She's one of the long-term practitioners of Agnihotra there in Tuskegee. Okay, so she'll be able to share her wisdom as well with a lot of the things that we're talking about on the Cosmic Clinic. And for those of you that are just now joining, we started, Sri Charles started talking about the Cosmic Clinic as a way to build up your immune and as a way to connect with your the higher consciousness and develop yourself in that way. And so we're just continuing that conversation on the Agnihotra Lady Show with the Cosmic Clinic. And as Sabi Hunter, also known as Mama Yogi, she could definitely talk to you about that. So I'm going to go ahead and share it to a couple of pages. So if anyone wants to jump on, um, I'm going to also put the Zoom link up there too. If, you know, you're welcome to, because this is a Q&A. So let me go ahead and share the information now. Okay. So I'm going to share this to my page, everybody, and then I'm going to share to a couple of our pages here. So bear with me a second. Well, while I'm doing that, do you want to talk about what you know, what you have found for yourself, Mama Yogi, what Agnihotra has done for you, and how it's affected, you know, because Mama Yogi has several children, and how the effect it has on children. You want to talk about that while I'm sharing?
I could talk about that. Yeah, sure.
So while I'm sharing, I'm gonna let Mama Yogi go ahead and start it off, and then we'll jump into this week's topic. So take it away, Mama Yogi.
All right. So yeah, I do have 7 children. I had 5 in the house with me at the time that I began to do Agnihotra. And that was one of the things that caught my attention about the practice, was that this was something I didn't have to call my teenagers and say, okay, let's sit down, let's do this. They were drawn to it. They were drawn by the energy of it, to just come and sit and, you know, watch the flame and be quiet, you know, and it you know, definitely caught my attention because I had like 2 sets. I say I had 3 sets of children. So the older 2 sets were out of the house. The second set were teenagers. And the third set were like 4 and an infant, or actually he was in the womb when I started to do Agnihotra.
Oh, wow.
So everybody wanted to sit down and see what mommy was doing and calm down. And, you know, and that was a challenge at the time with the 3 teenagers at the same time, trying to get everybody to calm down at the same time. So that caught my attention, and it made me look more closely at the science of why does this work, because it's not like something like you're able to say, oh, this works for me, it relaxes me, oh, that's nice, you know. But when you start to see a repetitive, and especially with children, because they don't have any, you know, artifice, they're not, you know, they're not pretending, they don't have anything to prove to you, especially at that age, to say, you know, I'm gonna, you know, well, I'm gonna pretend to like it, you know. There was something affecting them about it, and I could see that. And, you know, one of the stories, one of the things I remember sharing, I shared that with Sri Charles, and he shared with me that was one of his experiences, and even the reason they formed a youth organization at that time was being able to see the stress fall off of children at that age, of teenagers, of, you know, the things that they were going through, that they were able to get some relief from the state of mind, which, if we remember being, you know, 13 and beyond, it was a very, very stressful period of time. So to have something that they could respond to and be able to say instantly, you know, yeah, this makes it better. Yes, when can we do this again? That captures your attention.
So this is something that you recommend to your homeschooling mothers there in Tuskegee, because, by the way, everybody that doesn't know Mama Yogi, she's into homeschooling. She's into natural birthing and things like that. So you recommend this to help keep kids calm for homeschooling and all of that, which a lot of kids are being done. You know, they're doing that now because of people are not really sending their children to schools. You know, they have the options of schooling by home. I mean, do you recommend it for that?
Exactly. I do recommend it. You know, of course, not trying to push anything on anybody. I simply share my experiences, and I have been able to share my experiences with many of the children in the homeschool support group that we have here, and the children who are exposed to me. Mama Yogi activities are done in what I call an as pure as possible atmosphere. Which, if we are not able to do them at Shanti Villa, where the fire has been done for many years, then I would make sure to do the fire in that area before our activities, so that the children are impacted by the cleaner atmosphere, and being able to sit in a purified atmosphere for the period of time that they're working with me, that we're doing breathing exercises or yoga or whatever we're doing together. Even with things like meetings and places where I'm going to, especially right now, places where I'm going to be, I'm usually carrying a pyramid. And it's like, you know, and I'm treating the air. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna actually give me a second. I'm just adjusting something back here. Okay, so for anyone that's listening, we're talking about, with Mama Yogi, and we're talking about creating a purified atmosphere with Agnihotra, and as you can see, we have the fire going in the background. This is a regular Homa fire, which is not Agnihotra, but this is something that you can keep going throughout your day while you're homeschooling your children. It keeps them calm. And so she was just, Mama Yogi was just sharing her experiences with that. So I started off before Mama Yogi came on talking about what the process of Agnihotra. And so the saying is, if you purify the planet, you purify yourself. So with all of these impurities that are there, we have water pollution, air pollution, there's land pollution, which leads to all sorts of things with thought pollution. Agnihotra is a way to reset the planet's balance as well as resetting yourself. Because if you have a healthy planet, then you have healthy humans. If you have an unhealthy planet, then you have unhealthy humans that live on the planet. So you can't have one without the other, which goes back to the scientific principle of man, microbes, flora, fauna. And so, you know, when one of those is disturbed, then everything is disturbed. So with all of the imbalances that we have going on the planet, there is a solution. We have the Cosmic Clinic, which Charles and I have talked about, which is a clinic that's always open. You run the clinic, you the human. When you do Agnihotra, you're able to reset your immune system. When you're able to sit at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, sunrise, sunset, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 3 o'clock, these are the clinic times that we've talked about being open. And so when you sit still, whether you're doing the fire or not, there's a natural boost that comes to your immune system. And when you do the fire, it even boosts it even more. So these are some things that you can do yourself by opening up your own cosmic clinic at home or you know, with neighbors or at your work, if you're able to do that, where you can be happy and healthy. And so one of the topics that we wanted to talk about, and is we're talking about purifying and having this clean environment for children. And Mama Yogi was saying that she could see the difference in the children, who their minds are growing, they are growing, and they have to have our guidance to live happy and healthy. This is very important. So for anyone that's homeschooling, think about if you can have home fire going on in the background, because that would be very beneficial for your children, and it's be healthier for them. So we're going to talk about the things with the atmosphere. Mama Yogi, she had to step away for a second. So let's talk about the atmosphere. There are many types of pollution, and there are so many ways that we are affected. The planet, the animals are affected by pollution, but the basic thing that everything is based on is the atmosphere. We breathe air. Everybody breathes air, and I think that that's something in which we can we can have visible effects almost immediately, because for those that have asthma and those that that suffer from various respiratory issues, you know, you have to have pure air. With the impure air, you have these exacerbation of symptoms, and there's a lot of suffering that's going on. So even for those that don't have asthma, they're, you know, they're seeing changes in the air and the atmosphere, that's affecting not only how they breathe, but how they think and how they act. And so you got three levels of atmosphere. Um, when we talking about in Ayurveda, we have three layers of sound vibration. And NASA talks about this. So, you know, NASA, like I mentioned before on, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, they, you know, they do studies of the atmosphere. They on the ionosphere level, they actually put barium and lithium in the, I forget some other um, thing that they're injecting up there, you know, studying the weather and the ions. And last week I talked about ions. So, but you know, you really shouldn't be tampering with the layers of the atmosphere. In Ayurveda, we have three layers of the atmosphere. You have Dagartri, Jagati, and Trishput. And the Trishput is the last layer, and it's there right there on the edge of space. And so when we are chanting the Sanskrit mantras, when we do our homifiers, when we do our Agnihotra, we're cleansing each of those layers to, you know, to clear out all these impurities. And so, and let's just remember that the entire universe is based on vibration. And when we're chanting these mantras, these are high vibrational mantras. You know, we are connecting deeply with the universe. And when we're connecting in that way, then we too are upping our vibration, because of course everything's based on vibration. The entire universe is based on vibration, and we as humans, we are vibrations too. The highest vibration is to vibrate with love. And so anytime that you are chanting the Sanskrit vibrations, when you do Agnihotra, you're just opening yourself up to be the biggest love machine out there. Your vibration is upping, and is you're becoming very tapped in to the universe. And we have to be on that high level, because as a human being, our anatomy is made different from other animals, and we are meant to be caretakers of the planet. We're meant to function on a higher level than other animals. And so this vibration that we're talking about, the vibration of the universe, the vibration of the planet, the vibration that we have as humans, when you do Agnihotra, you are transforming yourself. You're upping your vibration, and you're making sure that your thoughts are kind and peaceful, so that way you're vibrating on the highest possible level. Because really, we're vibration machines. That's really the only way the planet can survive. The planet can't survive on vibrations of chaos and hate. That kills the planet. You know, since the universe is made of vibrations, we have to be on the highest level of vibration for the planet to be healthy. And that's the reason why we have to be mindful of what we do to the planet, how we collect our plants, how we treat our animals, how we treat the air we breathe and the water we drink, because all of that adds to the vibrations that keeps the planet alive. So I just wanted to just talk about the atmosphere. And so that's really important. And one of the important benefits of what happens when you do Agnihotra. So Agnihotra, when you do it at sunrise and sunset, like I said before, there's ethers and electricities that are emitted in the morning time. And when you do the chant the Sanskrit mantras, okay, there's a, you know, beautiful music that can be heard that extends all the way into the universe, and that's when the purification comes about. It goes 8 miles up in a 2-mile radius. So this is something that will benefit not just your household, but the entire community. And so this is the atmosphere, and like Mama Yogi was talking about, that you know, you can feel it. So we can tell you about Agnihotra, but the best way is for you to have the experience by doing it, because children, as you know, Mama Yogi, they're not gonna tell a tale. They're gonna tell you what they feel, either they feel it or don't.
Right.
So that's what's going on there. So you just jumped back in, but I just explained about the 3 levels of the atmosphere, and you know what happens with Agnihotra and how it cleanses all of that with the vibrational nature of the Sanskrit mantras that we chant during that time. Is there anything else you want to add before we go on to talk about pyramids and stuff? Because I want to kind of like give people a really good view of how this can affect them individually, and you as being a member of your family. You want to add anything to that?
I would just like to add, I got my video feed fixed. Yeah, there we go. But I would like to tell you one more story. Speaking of vibration, one of my daughters was having a little difficulty with school and adjusting, and she would stay with a relative during a part of the day while I was working, and she was homeschooling. I came home one day, and a relative, you know, she was very impressed, and she started asking me more questions about fire and about what we did at Shanti. And she said that,
Mama Yogi, but it's very choppy.
oh no! So it is. Like, somebody told me that before. That
yeah, it is very choppy.
The video and the audio together make it have a problem. Is that better?
It sounds way better now. Yeah, because I want people to hear what you have to say. Can you start from the beginning then? Because I want people to hear what you have to say.
I was saying I was homeschooling one of my children, one of my daughters, and she was having some difficulty with school and with concentrating. And I would leave her for a part of the day with a relative because I was working. And I came back one day, and she said she was asking me a lot of questions about what we do at Shanti Villa. And I told her about, more details about the fire again, which I told her before. She wasn't very interested. And she described to me, she said, well, I couldn't get the child to do her work. And I was getting kind of aggravated with her, and she was getting frustrated. And, and so she said, well, so-and-so, can I just sit for a few minutes and then I'll be back and I'll finish my work? She said, child, took herself to a quiet place and sat down and did some breathing exercises. And she said, when she came back, she was more focused. They got their work done. And so I explained to her, I said, there are things you can do to adjust the vibration of your body and to calm your mind. And that is what we are doing. But we're teaching the children at Shanti Villa. That is how we're teaching them to deal with stress, even though the everyday stresses of trying to focus when, for whatever reason, it could be something that's happened. It could be where the moon is. It could be any number of energies that disrupt you that you don't feel like, doing your work or sitting still or concentrating. But she was impressed that the child knew something to do to center herself and come back into a space of, okay, now I can do my work. And that helped, that person understand, a lot of other people around us who were questioning what we were doing understand a lot better of what a vibrational shift looks like. You were talking about vibration, and with the vibration of the fire, when you shift the vibration where you are, you shift the vibration within you, what that can do. So that I wanted to share that example.
Well, and that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about that the entire universe is based on vibration, and so it's really important that our children are not filled with fear with all the things that are going on, and that they are calm. And so I think I was saying before, maybe several episodes ago, I had someone that brought a child that had asthma, and the fire helped with their asthma. And they were surprised because they said, how can the fire help with asthma? I said, well, it's a purifying fire. And so I've had, you know, friends bring children over here that were autistic, that they said they had behavior problems with, but they were calmed down because of the Agnihotra fire. And then I've shared a video of Christopher Broom, who was a vet that used Agnihotra. I mean, we have a video of him in front of the VA where he's teaching, talking about the benefits of the VA. I mean,
I produced that video. Yes. Yes.
That video, and I'll repost it because I have some people that have said that they've used Agnihotra to battle depression, and so it's helped with mood disorders, PTSD, and other things like that. I mean, people didn't tell me up front; they just said, "Oh yeah, I've been doing the fire for several months, and it helps with that." So there's a number of things that happen just from doing the fire, and if you do it regularly, it ups your vibration, so that way you can do away with these pharmaceuticals, and you can not have to be worrying about calming yourself. This is a tool in which you're able to calm yourself and to have your thoughts be toned down, be full of love, happiness, joy, all those wonderful things. And so I'm going to take a little break. So I'm going to break out the pyramid. So if anyone is watching, anyone can do this. You can do this as an individual. I'm going to break out the pyramid, the box. And if you get the pyramid from us, this is our kit from Shanti Institute. This is the kit, so you all see it. Okay, and so this is a brand new pyramid. It comes with a copper cup, tray, and I just want to let you all see it because it's always in the background when I'm up here. Here's the pyramid. Here's the inside of the pyramid, and the three levels of the pyramid. We're going to talk about pyramids in a minute, but there's 3 levels in the pyramid. That when you do Agnihotra, when you're chanting mantras, it goes to each level of the pyramid. And you have tongues, okay? You have a spoon, and then you got a couple of these bottles here. So that's what comes in the pyramid. This booklet that comes with the kit. So let me see if I can put this back together again. You'll be able to teach anyone in your household or your community. If you want to do this in community, you'll be able to teach an Agnihotra with this booklet that comes with every kit. So you can order these from Shanti Institute. And of course, you don't have to order from us, but we always have this in the background. I wanted to mention that's one of the things that we have for sale. I think I've been talking about the Mudra book. We have that for sale as well too. So we have a variety of products. Let me see if I can make this stand back up now. Okay, so that is the pyramid. So now we're going to talk about, because I want to make sure that we cover all the topics for this week. And I'm glad that Mama Yogi is joining us. And so just to recap with Mama Yogi, she is a health and wellness educator. She's a vegetarian vegan chef. She's very involved in the community in Tuskegee, and she has worked with several children's programs. And then she's a natural birthing expert, and she's a storyteller. So she is very active in spreading the message of Agnihotra for the family and children, and just a lot of knowledge. So listen, you guys, you all can always DM her. I tried to share to your pages, but using Zoom, it wouldn't let me share to an individual page for some reason. I'll try to save it to your page when we get off, or share it to your page, but it wouldn't let me share it. I don't know.
That's awesome.
I don't know what it is. I'm new using Zoom. So, but feel free to message her as well as me, because she's been doing Agnihotra for about 16 years or more, and she has a lot of knowledge. It was dealing with children, and it's seeing the good effects that has on that. So for anyone that's joining, welcome. I posted the Zoom link to the video right underneath there, so you're welcome to jump on in here and ask any questions. This is the Agnihotra Lady, the Cosmic Clinic, and you're here with the Agnihotra lady and with Mama Yogi. So now we're going to talk about pyramids. So people have asked, why a pyramid, why a copper pyramid? And pyramids in general are, full of high vibration. So pyramids occur all over the world. I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but they occur everywhere, even the North Pole. They unburied things and say, well, wow, these are pyramids down here. And that's because they're high vibrational. And this is actually what keeps the planet set the way it needs to be set. And so when we do Agnihotra, we use a copper pyramid because it is, a high vibrational item that can bring about the purification that we've been talking about. So there are 3 levels in the pyramid. So when you're chanting the Sanskrit mantra, it goes through all 3 levels. And like I said, it goes 8 miles up and it's a 2-mile radius. And so depending on the length of the mantra affects the vibration, because then you're upping that vibration with the Sanskrit mantra. Remember, the universe is built upon vibrations. And so when you're doing this, you yourself become high vibrational, and then you're creating this bubble, this protective bubble around, like I said, 8 miles up and 2 miles around when you chant. So using the pyramid is essential to the Agnihotra practice. And just so you know, pyramid, the meaning is fire in the middle. So that is why we light the fire. We use the cow dung, the dried cow dung, the rice, and just hold it up again, the ghee, which is unsalted butter that we boil. So those are the ingredients that we use, and we chant the mantras. So the mantras for sunrise are Suryaya Swaha, Suryaya Hiram Namama Prajapatiye Swaha, Prajapatiye Hiram Namama. And then for sunset is Agniye Swaha, Agniye Hiram Namama Prajapatiye Swaha, Prajapatiye Hiram Namama. That's the sunset mantra. And so when I'm talking about mantras, all these mantras in Sanskrit, which is a high vibrational language, and that's how we do that, because we're talking about setting our bodies, we're the humans, to the highest vibration possible. And remember that our anatomy is made different from any other animal. And so we're the only animal that can do Agnihotra. And as a human, we have a very special connection to the universe and to the cosmos. And so when we're talking about Agnihotra and the other timings in which you can sit and do a fire, in the pyramid, fire in the middle, we're talking about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, sunrise, sunset, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You're able to get a boost to your immune system, get a boost to injecting more love into your heart, being more kind, forgiving, more compassionate. That's what Agnihotra is all about. And of course, that's purifying. When you do these things, you're purifying yourself. And of course, the process of Agnihotra, it releases 5 gases, to make sure I pronounce them right. So it releases ethylene oxide, propylene oxide, formaldehyde, butyroproplaction, and I know I'm pronouncing that wrong every time, and acetylene. Those are the 5 gases that are emitted. So it does kill pathogenic bacteria. It cleanses the water. It cleanses the air. Okay. So this is something that has been scientifically proven to make an effect on pollution. And so it is powerful in so many different ways. Do you want to jump in there, Mama Yogi, and add anything before we're going to talk more about the breathing and stuff, and the power of breathing, which you touched upon. So I wanted to get some of your feedback before we move on to the next topic.
I would just like to add, I know sometimes we hear some of those gases like a formaldehyde and acetylene as toxic, but these are naturally occurring gases. When they're being produced by these bioorganic organisms, they are naturally occurring. So they are beneficial impact on our atmosphere, not like something that's been artificially created and is being used in a way that is not natural. So I wanted to point that out. All of these gases are naturally occurring from the process of being in the pyramid with those ingredients themselves. And also that the copper itself is purifying. Many people have had that experience, have been told that when they are wearing copper jewelry. So, people have had experiences with the purifying nature of copper itself, and that attributes to the whole purifying process of the atmosphere and of the body. But yeah, there's a lot of levels to learning, the different specifics of how and why this works. And you're welcome to ask questions. I just want to remind people, sometimes people think that they're supposed to just like get it overnight, and I call staying with it a few years getting your Agnihotra PhD. It's like you just
Love it.
there's a beginning level and anybody can do it, but you don't have to explain it at the level that somebody who's gotten a PhD explains it right away. You'll get that over time.
Oh yes, and that's why I said this is about experience. And whenever I do show everyone, I explain things in basic terms, because anyone can get this PhD in Agnihotra. This is made for everyone. This is not something that only a few people can do. This is a gift to mankind, in which to deal with all of the things that we're dealing with now. We're dealing with viruses, bacteria, people now talk about being more depressed because of things that are happening, because you're by yourself, there's social distancing. This will help with all of that. This time at home alone, this is the time for you to, as I say, to activate these powers, to work on getting yourself in that higher consciousness awareness. And so this is the time to do that, and not to be walking in fear. And so that's why I do not watch a lot of news. I watch enough so I can stay informed, but people are not talking about that. And so Agnihotra, like I said, with the copper is purifying. Okay, fire is purifying. This entire process is about purifying yourself and purifying the planet. So Mama Yogi, she teaches yoga to the children, and this is a way, of course, the breath is the way of really understanding everything. And so there's a saying that unless a human, understands the power of the breath, then he can't understand anything about himself. And it's true, because with deep breathing, which is part of yoga, and I actually teach yoga and deep breathing out here at Shanti Atlanta here in Conyers. It's really important, and all of the yogis and ancient teachers, they teach a deep breathing, because the breathing is the seat of the soul. And so we talked about this vibration. Your breath is part of that vibration, okay? So the deep breathing is extremely important, and we push this all the time. The deep breathing, do deep breathing exercises. It actually helps tone your lungs. And I know people that have dealt with different coronavirus issues where they just did deep breathing. And I think Dawn, Charles's daughter, was talking about how she did deep breathing to help clear her lungs, because they were talking about putting her on a ventilator. And she says, no, she went home and did some Agnihotra and some Homofire and did deep breathing, and it really does help. So breathing is something, the breath, because deep breathing is connected to the atmosphere, and people don't really realize that, but it's a wonderful, special thing to be able to understand and go to a deeper awareness. When you do deep breathing exercises on a regular basis, then I would say that you go into a deeper awareness of self in a trance-like state. And there's a form of communication that happens between you and the cosmos when you go and do deep breathing for an extended period of time. And this communication is not available to anyone that's not sitting still and doing the deep breathing, the meditation. You have to sit still to be able to do this. You're able to connect more with the creator, with other celestial entities, and other ancient teachers even with deep breathing, and it's something that has to be experienced. So it's really important that that we do these things to keep ourselves happy and healthy. And for those that really would like to have peace of mind, if they have racing thoughts, when you do deep breathing exercises, like I said, there's an awareness that's beyond the mind that happens when you do extended deep breathing exercises. And so last week we did we demonstrated, I believe, mudras. We demonstrated power mudra, and I did a little mini breathing demonstration. But I really just want to emphasize that because there's so many different benefits. But when you do deep breathing, you're tapping into your plasma body, your arc body, okay? And so when you think of your body, you have this human form, but when you do deep breathing, you really to tap into that plasma body or the arc body, that depending on some people call it either, or they call it arc or they call it plasma body. And this is where you're able to, I call it like a secret communication system for people that sit still. And so Sri Charles would say, sit, boo boo, sit, but it really is true. And we demonstrated the bellows breath, and we demonstrated the cleansing breath. I can't remember, but get with myself here in Conyers, or you can get with come to Shanti Institute, or connect with Mama Yogi and learn about some deep breathing, because this is the time now so you can tap in and get to that higher consciousness, as well as to be healthy. And if you are having some kind of breathing issue, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but actually deep breathing actually helps. And Dawn talked about that on the first episode, about how they just, I mean, her breathing, they couldn't control the breathing. They just kept shooting her more and more with steroids, and it wasn't helping. But when she went home and did her deep breathing, she was able to stay at the hospital and stay off of respirator. So, and I didn't even know all of that portion of, I knew she had been sick, but I didn't know that, you know, it was that bad where they were going to put her on a respirator. Is there anything that you want to like to add to this, Mama Yogi?
Well, anybody who knows me has been told to breathe. And like one brother said, when I was recommending the breathing, I was explaining what breathing, what the yogi breathing, what pranayama was. He said, yeah, she's got several levels to it. It's not just regular breathing, But yeah, there are different breathing techniques. And I actually did a pranayama and mudra yoga class this week with Tuskegee at the university, an extension service with the university. And so I hope I'll be able to do that and more of that in the community. That was my first time trying to teach over Zoom. And interesting experience. And we'll work on it. But yeah, just like you said, that was one of the reasons I'm not, I don't necessarily like teaching on video like that, but recognizing the need, I stepped up to do that when I was asked to. But because I see so many people suffering, and I see that they need to be shown and they need to hear these stories of how this can help you. We have several people in Tuskegee are saying and have been saying that we really believe that we would have some of the first wave of COVID-19 before they started the testing, because so many people were sick throughout December and into January. And myself and my son, we were sick as well. So we didn't have the opportunity to get, whether or not it's an opportunity, we didn't take the testing. They weren't doing the testing here for quite a while, and we were well by then. But definitely used a lot of Ayurvedic healing remedies, and we definitely used the breathing. And I told him what I told one of the first times he had trouble with breathing like that. It was what I told many people, and they say, well, my nose is stopped up, I can't breathe properly. I say, do it anyway, because whatever little bit that you're doing, it's a part of it is the rhythmic nature of the breath. You're getting some breath in there. and just do it. And I kept telling him, just do it, just do it. And after I got him to do it, I didn't have to tell him anymore because he saw the effect. He saw that it did help him. And so it's a medication. You know, I tell people when I talk to some of my stress management clients, I said, you know, treat it like I'm giving you a prescription. You're getting a measured amount of breath through these breathing techniques. And I just want you to do it. You know, do it for one day. And then then I know that they're going to have an experience with that. And that I won't have to press it on them like that again. Like you're saying with Dawn's experience, it's a powerful experience to realize you have something in your hands, in your knowledge, that can impact your body so powerfully.
Yeah, and the thing is that you won't hear a lot of medical doctors, maybe unless they are osteopathic physicians or integrative, or, you know, there's some doctors that have medical degrees and then, you know, oriental medicine degrees. They do dual medicine. You're not going to hear doctors talking about this on the mainstream media. You're not going to hear the CDC or the World Health Organization talking about this. They're pushing other ways in which to treat, which people can do that. But I mean, there are ways to treat various things with just breathing. And that coupled with the Agnihotra is what we were talking about. And so once again, the Cosmic Clinic is always open. All you need to do is be taught the techniques of Agnihotra and the timings, as well as the breathing. And with the breathing, you can start off with just 5 or 10 minutes and then build up to like 15, 20, or 30 minutes. So, and you can do this throughout the day. Always you do deep breathing on, you do this on an empty stomach, okay? And then you most certainly do not take supplements right before you do deep breathing, or else they might come right back up out of your system. But I mean, it's very powerful. And I had Liz on, who's a nurse, and she said that she does it all the time. I didn't even know this at the time. Her and Joe set up my garden up here at Shanti, Atlanta, in Conyers, and she said that she doesn't take her depression medication anymore. So she's been doing Agnihotra. I didn't know that. So she said, I wish you could teach this in the hospital. And can you imagine that a nurse is saying that they wish they would teach Agnihotra in the hospital so she can treat patients? I think that's wonderful. Let me jump on here. I see Street Charles made a comment. Let me see if anyone else has made a comment. If you all are watching, we're going to end here in a few minutes. So if you want to jump in on the Zoom and ask us any questions, or if you feel more comfortable, if you post a question, I'm not going to really see it. Oh, I see the people are commenting. And yes, it is nourishing to the mind, body, due to the benefits of the healing energy. Hi, Tawa. So Tawa is on. Hi, George. Hi, Billy Lake. So we do have people that are joining, but if anyone that's new that would like to ask some questions before we sign off, feel free to do so. And then if you have a question that you want me to answer for next show, please DM or call me. And so before we go off air, before we're going to conclude some more stuff from Mama Yogi, I just wanted to say once again, these are the Agnihotra kits. If you'd like to order, you can go to shantibillinginstitute.com. We have the complete kit, and then we'll send you some pieces of cow dung to get started. And then we also sell Mudra book, and we have plant food and some other items too if you'd like to buy. And so Shanti Billing Institute is the main campus, which is run by Sri Charles. He's the founder of Shanti Billing Institute and Heal the Atmosphere Association. And then the Atlanta campus is at Shanti Atlanta, located in Conyers. And I'm the Agnihotra lady, also known as D Dones. And I do offer some social distancing one-on-one classes here. And then my number is 404-487-8156. You can find me on Facebook under Shanti Atlanta. And then the website is healthpluslifestyle.com. And I'm just very appreciative anyone that's viewing and learning about the Ayurvedic wisdom of Agnihotra and some of the techniques that we've been talking about. So in conclusion, Mama Yogi, would you like to add anything before we sign off?
I will say I was able to share the tail end of this on my page, my Sadie Hunter page, which is also Mama Yogi has a page of her own, and geared towards children and storytelling for the young at heart, for youth and the young at heart, I like to say. So everyone is invited to participate in storytelling. And as you can see, I do like to tell true stories as well to help people understand what we're doing, and how it's impacted us. And I can be, called upon to do that anytime. But I like the Cosmic Clinic. Thank you so much for having me. Of course, I like you said, it's always open. I go to mine at will.
Oh my goodness, yes.
All the time. I have my home fire going here as well.
Oh my goodness, did you say you were able to share it to your page?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't let me share it from whatever control from here. So I'm glad you're able to share it. So this is good. So everybody, like I said, Mama Yogi is in Tuskegee, Alabama. Okay, and like I said, for anybody that is homeschooling that has a question about setting this up in their home for homeschooling or whatever, please, contact Mama Yogi there in Alabama. And then for myself, I'm here. And if you have any questions or would like to get in touch with me, please, feel free to do that. And we will see you the next time. And we do 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time every Saturday on Zoom and Facebook Live. And I thank you so much for joining us for this week's the Agnihotra Lady at the Cosmic Clinic. And I will talk to you next time.
All right.
Thank you, Mama Yogi. Thank you so much.